What up, everybody? We are going to be touching on this for a little bit, and then I got to run. We got some stuff going on tonight, Broncos game, but I couldn't help but we have to go live and talk about this. We have to go live and talk about it. I need everybody in the comments. Here we go. We're starting to see people viewership go up. We'll give everybody a minute to get in here. We are going to talk about the difference between the continuing resolution that was being pushed and had everybody's approval that failed yesterday and what the liberals are saying, along with some Republicans. And I am waiting for the final vote tallies to come out so we know who did what. But we're going to get into it. Hey, everybody's throwing the comments. I see comments starting to come in. Hey, guys. Share this out. Let me know where you're watching from. Let's get this thing on the map. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be fun. It'll probably be only like 30 minutes. We're going to touch on this. I want to share some stuff of what I've been watching today around I struggle with the word every time. Is it continuing resolution, not continuous, continuing resolution. And what I want to talk about is the bill before and the bill now and how people are behaving. Now, word on the street, I just saw it came up on X as I started to go live. The bill failed already. The House didn't pass it. And that is what we're going to touch on a little bit. Here, I'll share with you guys real quick what the vote was. So the vote, hey guys, we're starting to see you guys come in here. Good. The vote failed. The bill passed. The bill didn't pass. It failed. And I love it. I love it. That's fine. This is a better bill than the other one, mainly because of this. Like, this is where we're going to start right now. We are going to start, and my saved settings didn't work. I hate coming back to this view, but that's okay. This is what the bill was on the left and what it is now when we tried to pass it. This is the difference in actually not putting a whole bunch of pork and extra money being spent. Looks like everything about it. Look at the difference in those pages. We went from 1,500 plus pages to 116. That is amazing. And everybody should be clapping and celebrating that, because that is what our bills should look like. And I don't know why I'm getting an unstable connection from... So I may be blurry right now. I'll deal with that in a minute, but sorry, guys. But this bill, 116 pages out of 1,500, over 1,500, I will take that any day. That is huge progress, and we don't even have anybody in office yet. This is the power of what we have voted in, and people actually starting to vocalize what is really in these bills. And I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to show you what these people are saying on why this bill is scary. They don't like this small bill. They don't want it. The government doesn't want it, guys. Do you guys want this bill, the smaller one? You don't have to know everything in it. I'll show you it. We'll talk a little bit about it. I've been going through it. I haven't got through all of it, but it looks reasonable. It's huge progress from where we came from. Huge, like enormous amount of progress from where we came from. So, God, I hate this view. Hang on. There we go. This is better. When it comes to this entire situation, we should never have a bill that is 1,500 pages and, hey, you're voting on it in 24 hours, so you got to read it. I love it, Nick. Shut it down. If you guys agree, because they already voted down the bill, so we're on target to shut down the government tomorrow. I'm fine with it. Shut the government down. We'll reopen it on January 20th. We'll figure out how we solve this, and we'll make things work. We don't need this administration and this government anymore. They are not serving their constituents or the American people. And that is where we're going to see this in these videos I'm going to show you. These people are losing their minds. Now, they have a little bit, their concerns of what they're bringing up, I get a little bit, and I'll touch on it when we get to a couple of the videos. But keep sharing this out, guys. I don't have enough reactions on here. I only have one, so let's get some more so we can break the algorithm there. And let's throw some shut it downs in the chat if you're down with that. I know we're accepting some issues with that. Like some government employees might not get paid, might not have a job for a month. But we need to start making some changes. Dan Crenshaw. Oh, don't even get me started. That special individual lost his ass on the internet yesterday. He made his big old rant on X, and everybody was reaming him. Matter of fact, I'll even pull that up and show you guys because it was hilarious what people are doing to him. They're just starting to make memes out of him all the time. And shout out to Sarah Fields for posting this because I reshared it. Let me go ahead and pull that up real quick. Dan Crenshaw, I was bitch slapped by everyone on X yesterday. Like this is what I want to see. I hate the government and they need to stop. And this is the type of stuff. This is why I made my cyberbully politician shirt. This guy, with what he was spewing on the internet yesterday, deserved everything he got. Everything. This is exactly what we need to be doing. Calling out all of these individuals that is pushing this bullshit, and we need to shut it down. All right, let's get into some fun. I don't need to get into this. I need to get into the football game, but I want to show you guys some funny stuff. All right, share screen. Let's pull up Colin Ruggs video here. This is before anything, but I want you guys to listen to what they're saying. And do me a favor so I can make sure you guys can hear it. Give me a thumbs up in the comments when this starts playing. Let me know it's playing.
Your currency in this institution is your word. We reached an agreement. We came to modest achievements. And a tweet changed all of it?
Yes, you know why? Because the tweets are coming from taxpayers and American people. We are actually getting an understanding of what's in this freaking bill. Thank you, Elena. I see you. We know what's in this bill now because people are talking about it. It's 1,500 pages. America doesn't have that time to dedicate to read this bill and understand what's in it. We expect our elected representatives and people that we want, that we voted in, that will be taking office on January 20th, we want them to be doing exactly what they just did. Called out every single thing that was in that first bill. Do you guys know, in the comments, throw one in the comments if you guys knew this. Did you know that there was funding for a new NFL stadium in that first bill? Why in the hell are we sneaking in funding for an NFL stadium for a bill that we need to pass just to fund the government? That's all this is supposed to be. Fund the government. Why are we sneaking in funding an NFL stadium at all? I don't like taxpayer money going to an NFL stadium. I'm one of the biggest football fans you will probably find, and taxpayers should not be paying it. NFL and the organizations that run the teams make more than enough money to pay for it themselves. They need to do that. We don't need to carry that burden. Not at all. All right. Off my soapbox. Let's keep going.
Can you imagine what the next 2 years are going to be like if every time the Congress works its will and then there's a tweet or from an individual who has no official portfolio who threatens members on the Republican side with a primary?
Yes, we're going to fucking primary you. Sorry, Nancy. We will remove you from your position because you are not listening to Americans. You are not listening to your constituents. Yes, we will put you through that. We did that just a month ago, and we will do it again. This is what's so important. Like, guys, hey, these politicians are airing their dirty laundry. There is nothing wrong with a tweet going out with valid information, and it encourages people to say, shut it down. There is nothing wrong with that at all. Every single one of us can tweet, can send a message to any of our representatives in Congress and say, don't pass this. And we should not there should be no negative effects of that because we're spreading information about bills that you guys are trying to pass that are funding your special interests. That is how we go from 1,500 pages to 116. This is exactly why that tweet is so important. You are just a corrupt politician. I don't even know his name, but he is saying the most ignorant shit out there. And yes, as Rose says, please, everyone, like and share this out. We're only going to be on here for probably another 20 more minutes, but I want to cover this. There's some more of this video, and then there's another one, and I want to show you guys. How about the big fat pay raise they wanted to give themselves? Yes, I still got to validate that if that's in the 116 bill. I think it is, but I'll validate that, and we'll touch on that before the end of the end of the show. But let's play this the rest of the video.
And they succumb? This institution has a separate responsibility based upon the separation of powers.
No, dude, the separation of powers. You're supposed to represent the people, not your special interests, not funding an NFL stadium, not all of this other stuff that we're spending money overseas or at any other country. America needs the money first. And we need to be, and I will advocate for this in this bill no matter, every time. Our Hurricane Helene victims all need to be taken care of without all of this bullshit that they're going through with FEMA. Just fucking take care of them. That's all we're saying. And no, other countries are more important than our Americans, and that's not okay. That is why this bill went from 1,500 pages down to 116, because of your bullshit. All right, let's jump into one more video. Let's do this. Sorry, guys. I'm really passionate about this because I can't stand what they're doing right now. It's absolutely insane. Here is... You don't have audio yet, so hang on. Just got to get it all set up. So this one is... Thrift Store Obama is who this one is. Because, man, he wants to be like Obama, but he does not speak like him. Not at all. I can't stand Hakeem Jeffries. I think he keeps trying to push the globalist agenda and keep us under government control when really the government should fear the American people. That's who they work for. And this is what's interesting. Here, we're going to talk about this and we're going to get into it.
The Musk-Johnson proposal is not serious. It's laughable. Extreme MAGA Republicans are driving us to a government shutdown.
Are you saying
Okay. He said, and I know the audio's low. I turned it all the way up as much as I could. But he said the Musk-Johnson proposal is going to drive us to a government shutdown. I don't give a shit. Everybody throw it in the chat if you don't care. Shut it down. Throw it in the chat. Shut it down. I don't care. This person doesn't need a job because he's trying to fund an NFL stadium. He's trying to fund other countries. He is not trying to take care of his constituents or take care of America first. He is going to be funding other things with billions of dollars. It doesn't matter. He needs to go. We'll play this one more time.
The Musk-Johnson proposal is not serious. It's laughable. Extreme MAGA Republicans are driving us to a government shutdown.
Are you
see a world in which you might regret not agreeing with a clean death bill?
See, and he just walks away. What a freaking coward. He won't take questions. And these people need to understand they represent us. Nothing else. They represent us. And this bill that they were all excited about, that we go back to dipshit number 1 that we played the video for. Let me go and pull up his fancy face. This guy was saying at the beginning of this video, everybody agreed. Everybody agreed on this. Let's go over this again.
Your currency in this institution is your word.
Here we go.
We reached an agreement. We came to modest achievements.
Yeah. So you reached an agreement on something that as soon as the American people found out about and the American people started to mention their displeasure on social media, you guys started getting held accountable, and you guys started hearing about how we don't want this bill to pass. That doesn't matter. Your word. Like, let's listen to this again. Your word. So he's
Your
telling
currency
Congress
in this
to not
institution
listen to
is
his
your word.
constituents. Right there.
Your currency in this institution is your word. We reached an agreement.
I appreciate. I'm going to pull this down real quick. I appreciate someone that is a man of their word, stick to it, and deliver on their promises. However, when it comes to your word in this situation, your word is with the American people that you represent. It doesn't mean I could change my mind with you inside government and say, no, actually, I don't support this bill anymore. My constituents tell me not to. That is okay. That is what should happen. They should be saying, our constituents say, we don't want this, so we're not going to pass it. I did agree with you that, yes, we were going to, but my constituents say no more. That is okay. And that is the way things should work. This guy, this special individual on the screen here, seems to think that, no, Congress, we make all the decisions. American people don't matter. We do everything. We have all of the power. This is the attitude that got us $36 trillion in debt. They think that they can just keep doing everything. We need to shut everything down, and I'm okay with it. I see you, Tim. There you go. And we're going to. It looks like this bill didn't pass in the House, and this is going to shut down everything. And I'm okay with that. I'm completely okay with it. Our current administration is one of the worst we have ever had in history. I don't want any of them making any decisions. I want to see what the new administration comes in and does. By right now, I think Doge is already having a huge effect. We're already having people come in and say, no, look at this bill. Vivek Ramaswamy read all 1,500 plus pages and came out and was like, this is exactly what Doge wants to shut down. This is what's going to stop when we take over. And all it did was expose all of the corruption in our government. This is fucking awesome. And I know I'm swearing a lot. Sorry, Nancy, but it pisses me off that you have these corrupt politicians thinking that they are doing everything that they should do to serve their special interests and not America. That is not okay. And that is not what we voted for on November 5th. And that is why it is going to be so iconic when we take over on January 20th. Today reinvigorated that in me. I am excited for Doge to come in, start wiping out this unnecessary spending, and getting bills down to reasonable amount of pages. We don't need to be filling it with a bunch of pork and shit that goes everywhere. That is not what we need to be funding. We need to be focused on us. All right, let's look at some of your comments real quick. And I already showed you guys the vote. Let's pull that back up again. This is on the new bill that just failed in the House. And I want to know who every single one, and I'm going to be looking at this, every single one of these 36 people on the Republican side, I need to figure out who they are. The two Democrats that voted yes, I'm going to find out who they are. I'm going to post all of the information so you guys can see it. I'm mostly on X, but I'll go and post it on the Truth pages on Facebook so you guys can see that too. But we have 174 people that said yes to that 116-page bill. That is a huge progress, and that is fantastic momentum that we need to keep building upon. You had 23 that didn't vote. I don't know why that is. If they are not there, it's possible because they're trying to go on their Christmas break. Do any of you throw in the comments what you guys think? Do you guys care if they go on their Christmas break? I don't. They work 133 days a year. You can work an extra day until you get a proper bill in place. I don't care. all of us would be told that when we're at work. You got to get this done before you call it a day. All of us would be held accountable like that. We need to hold these politicians that way. They need to be held accountable, every single one of them. One of the things I also got to show you guys, another video. Hang on. Mike Lee was on with Benny Johnson earlier, and it was hilarious, and I love it. Schumer smirks. Oh, just recent. Let's pull this up real quick, guys. Let's go over this. This is a new one. Oh, thank you, Rose. Thank you. Yeah, guys, if you don't know, I'm all on X now. It's mostly so I can freely be who I am and share and talk. I can't do that on these other platforms as openly. And so I'm all over on X. Go and find me over there. You see my handle under there, under my name. But let me pull up this post from Mario. Mario Nafal says, Schumer smirks as shutdown looms. Bring back our bloated bill. Do you guys want the other bill back? I'm curious. Do any of you want 1,500 pages, 1,547 pages that fund a NFL stadium, other countries, and a whole bunch of garbage that we've been paying for over 100 years since we established the Federal Reserve? Our spending has gone through the roof. And just in the last 20 years, our spending has gone to the freaking moon. If you go and look at our national debt and the curve, the last 20 years have been insane. And we can't afford to do this. And this is why I do believe Donald Trump realized some of the mistakes from his first presidency, because he brought in a whole bunch of people that are not politicians. The one person he hasn't replaced yet, but I do believe he got told last night that his job's on the line, and that is Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson said this bill was great, and we're going to pass it. We're going to do everything right. No, none of that bill should have been passed at all. But let me pull up what Benny Johnson, his conversation with Mike Lee. It was awesome. I really love this direction that we're going as a country. I think that, sorry, I'm scrolling and talking at the same time, so it's kind of difficult. There we go. But I really think that with this entire situation that we are in, with our current administration, shut it down. We'll come back in with a new administration on January 20th, and then we'll produce a bill that makes sense. I'm okay with that. With the current administration and Congress that we have in place, it didn't help us the last 4 years. They did nothing for us. Our continuing resolutions used to last a year. We would pass one bill to get us through a whole year. Today, we pass a bill to get us by for a few months, 3 months. That is how our Congress is declining. They're not serving us. Not at all. And this is what, Mike Lee hit the nail on the head with this, and he starts talking about how bad Congress is. And I love it. Let's hear it.
I want to give you an opportunity to set on a scale of 1 to 10, how important was Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy exposing of this process to the destruction of this continuing resolution?
It was the sine qua non, the without which not, the indispensable element. It would not have occurred without them. So,
see, guys, this is one thing that I can understand and why people might get concerned. And this is the libertarian in me. How do we have this much influence outside our government that we need to be doing something differently? It's a slippery slope. It is. The part that gives me hope is Doge is a huge part of why I voted for Donald Trump. It's the first time I've been able to vote and say, hey, I'm supporting somebody that wants to shrink the government and decrease our spending. I'm fine with that. That is why I'm wearing this hat today. I want the government shrunk by 70% or more. They don't need to be that big. We don't need to be spending that kind of money. And it is concerning that there is a opportunity for somebody outside of the government to have this much influence, but not when we're in this situation right now that we are in so much corruption. Why in the hell we're funding a $3 billion NFL stadium in a government funding bill is absolutely insane to me. I mean, it's insane. Why is that even on the table? We should be funding our government for a year, getting us by. We're now just doing every 3 months because Congress sucks. But we need to make this transition. And the people that are openly speaking out about it, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, are both in a position. They are established leaders of Doge, and our next administration is going to put them in power to go through and review everything and figure out how we shut everything down. That is why they have this much power. That is why I voted on November 5th for Donald Trump, is because I wanted that. I want our bills to be a few pages, not thousands. No bill should exceed a couple of pages. It should be topic by topic, just very small. We don't need to be fitting in a continuing resolution and NFL stadium. Why? I'm okay for a conversation about a raise with Congress because that's still funding the government. It can be included in there. One of the things that I would really love to see is Americans have it on the ballot every 4 to 8 years. We have it on the ballot that we decide if Congress gets a raise. We decide. We get to decide because we say you represented us or you didn't. And so you didn't get a raise. That is where, yes, democracy might rule in that way a little bit, but the power of the internet and bringing us all together, we will be able to correlate, it will bring a movement to make sure that we're addressing this situation, very similar to what we just did yesterday. By Elon Musk talking about this bill, by Vivek Ramaswamy talking about this bill, and exposing all of the bullshit that's in it, is exactly what we need to be doing with every bill and everything government is going to be doing. It is fantastic. Now let's get back to Mike Lee. I cut him off. I'm going on my soapbox because I'm a little excited today, guys. I'm really excited.
How do we go forward then? How do we do this? First of all, we're going to need new leadership. We've got new leadership in the Senate coming in the coming year. And I believe that the writing's on the wall, unless I'm just mistaken. It seems to me that new leadership in the House is almost inevitable. If that's the case, I think we need to go outside the box. I think we need to look to a different place. Remember, neither the Constitution nor the House rules require that the Speaker be a current member of the House of Representatives. And I propose that they elect either Elon Musk or Vivek Ramaswamy. Look, the Doge movement is enormously popular in the House. Just listen to House members who are Republicans. They can't get enough of them, including many of the people who have been part of this swampy process. They praise Doge. Oh, Doge is going to save this. If that's the case, that being the case, given that they all have expressed such affection for Vivek and for Elon, let them choose one of them. I don't care which one to be their speaker. That would revolutionize everything. It would break up the firm. We would now have government of the people, by the people, and for the people, rather than this cartel from the firm, which is systemically corrupt.
You are in favor of what Rand Paul, who's been your strong ally in the Senate, said this morning publicly, of having Elon Musk be Speaker of the House, or potentially, as you just floated, Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. Rand and I hadn't even talked about that. I think we both came to the same conclusion at about the same time. But as is often the case, Rand is more articulate and quicker to the punch in getting it out there.
I love Mike Lee. I love Mike Lee. He doesn't. I wish he supported Phil Lyman a little bit more. So I do hold that a little bit of a grudge against him, but I'll forgive him because he does a lot of good things. He says a lot of good things, and he really tries to represent his people. So I'll give him a little bit of a pass, but I'll still remind him that, hey, you should have supported Phil Lyman for governor of Utah much more than Governor Cox. But we're not talking about that. I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys support this? Do you guys support that Elon and Vivek Ramaswamy has this much power right now? They really swayed the government. They moved the government to make a decision that they didn't want to do. They even voted today to go against what Elon and what Mike Johnson and probably Vivek, no one says his name in this, but I bet you all of them were talking about this bill. Do you support that they were able to expose the garbage in this and get it around on social media so fast that it created this pressure on government? I am full in support of that. If you don't want that, if you don't want that bullshit, if you don't want to hear the American people come at you, if you don't want that to happen, then put together a real bill that Americans would care about. That's all you need to do. Just fund the government and then stay out of our lives. If you did that, we wouldn't be up in arms over the bullshit. Don't try to fund a Washington, D.C. NFL stadium. The Washington Commanders are doing very well this year. They can fund it themselves. There's no reason to be bailing out an NFL team. We bailed out too many banks and lenders and all of the bullshit in 2008. We learned that lesson. We're not doing it anymore. And that's where I'm wearing an NFL jersey because I am a NFL fan, but I am not for taxpayers paying for the stadium. Just not. It doesn't make sense. And our government is trying to sneak this bullshit in and fund it for their special interests. This is why they're all mad. And I'm happy about it. Because they need to all be locked up and fired. Every single one of them. They have been complicit with all of the problems over the years. And no one's holding them accountable. Thank God today, in the last 48 hours, we have accountability. We have everybody up in arms over a 1,500-page document, and we're saying no. We need to do more of that. If the page is over, let's start reasonable. If the bill is over 200 pages, it's a no. Absolute no. I don't care. And we need to create that culture within Congress. And then when it's under 200 pages, consistently, fine. We're going to go down to 100. Get down to 100 pages. We're going to ease our way into this and make these changes. And that's why I voted for Doge. I voted to make sure that we can start seeing the clean up of this entire disaster. And the last 48 hours has exposed it all. We made the right decision on November 5th. Think about that. If Kamala Harris, the whore, got elected on November 5th, this bill would have passed 2 days ago. There would have been nothing. It wouldn't have. I don't think Elon would have tweeted about it. I don't think Vivek would have done anything. They just know they're going to be held accountable when they take office on January 20th. They got to do what they said they were going to do. And we're going to make sure of it. And this is the beginning of a good things, guys. Really good things. I'm not going to go around like some of these people are saying the entire world's going to get better. Everything's going to be perfect. I believe there will be pain before we are comfortable. I think we're going to have to go through some pain over the next year, easily, because of the unnecessary spending that government has spent. We have to right the ship. It's going to be painful, but I think we're going to be able to do it. $36 trillion in debt doesn't go away overnight. We can print money all we want, but it doesn't get us out of debt. I got one more video for you guys, and that is from our friend Raskin. Jamie Raskin? Jamie? Yeah, Jamie. I got this video. This is what started it for me today. When I saw this earlier, I was like, wait, what? I have to cover this tonight. So Jamie Raskin had some fun words, and let's go ahead and hear it.
Where are you on this negotiation?
Why is this so quiet?
We had many weeks of negotiation with the Republicans. We arrived at a bipartisan legislative compromise. The Senate Democrats, the Senate Republicans, the House Democrats, the House Republicans, everybody agreed. And then it was blown up by Elon Musk.
Does anybody care? Anybody in the comments? I promise you, you will not get ridiculed. You will not be slammed. If you are in the comments right now, there's 1,200 people watching. If you are in the comments and you supported that prior bill, please just say yes. If you did, throw it in the comments. If you didn't, throw a nope in the comments. No one attack anybody that says yes. That's their right. They can support it, and we can work on educating if we need to, but if they're opening to listen. But I want to know, does anybody support the bullshit that was trying to be passed that Elon Musk blew up? I don't know of a single freaking American that would be out there and be like, oh yeah, let's spend $3 billion on an NFL stadium that team can afford on their own. No American's going to do that. I don't care if you're super liberal. Like, most of those people don't like NFL owners. They don't like big CEOs that make all of this money. They don't like all of that. And so it's stupid. And as I saw this comment, I wanted to make it bring it up again. Like, when it comes to Trey Gowdy, I used to love him. And now, after this whole week of garbage that's been going on, he's got to go. Screw Trey Gowdy. He was just part of the establishment. That's all he was. And look at this, guys. Like, nobody supports this freaking bill. And if you do, I promise you, we're not going to be calling you out, making fun of you, or any of that stuff, because that's your choice. But I cannot find a single American that would ever want to support any of that bullshit. The only people that want to are those in Congress that are going to receive, I don't know, $1 million kickback. That's nothing out of a $3 billion bill. A politician to get $1 million on the side, just, hey, here you go. Thanks for passing that $3 billion bill. We don't get any of that. We just get to pay for it. This has 100 brought out the right. Well, it's not just rhinos. It's corruption in the government. Everybody I'm exposing that's out here blaming Elon Musk and blaming Vivek Ramaswamy are liberals. They're mad. That's why this is titled Liberal Meltdown, because they're freaking out because their side has no avenue to make this work. And this is exposing all of the corruption, which I think is fantastic. Fantastic. A lot of, 100%. 100%. Florida man, I don't recognize your name, so I don't know where you're coming from, but you'll get to know I don't care what side you're on. I hate the government. I hate you. The government needs to be out of our lives. The Americans need to know how their tax dollars are spent. It is not politically to want to know this information. Yeah, I agree. We need to know where our hard-earned tax money is going. We go and work 40 hours a week, and then we have to pay 30% of that easily back to the government. For what? So we can build an NFL stadium? I don't think so. I don't want to do that. Screw you. They are on the outside looking in. Yeah. The whole thing is a Christmas present to me. Elena, I am right there with you. I am all for it, because right now, this is I'm getting super excited about what we're going to see potentially on January 20th and going forward. The only bill I support is the one that abolishes the federal government altogether. I agree. I'll support other bills. Like, we still need to support funding the government. We need FEMA right now, and we need FEMA to cooperate and take care of the people. But let's finish this video with Jamie Raskin real quick.
Who apparently has become the fourth branch of government. And that's just an intolerable.
Elon Musk became the fourth branch of government, is what they're saying. Fourth branch of government. No. By the way, he was elected with Donald Trump to take office on January 20th. All he did was expose the pork and the bullshit that you put in the bill that has nothing to do with funding the federal government. You are just trying to pass bullshit so you get some kickbacks and you can take care of your friends. That's all you're doing. You are not taking care of your constituents who you should be representing in Congress. You are serving your selfish special interests, and you should be tried for treason for that. You are not doing serving the oath that you took of office. Not at all.
Way of proceeding under representative democracy. So the Democrats are going to try to figure out how we can salvage the public good out of the wreckage that has just been foisted upon us.
It's not wreckage. It is actually spending the money on where the American people want the money to be spent. We make the decisions, not you. Not you.
Do you think that there's a scenario where you might regret rejecting a clean debt ceiling increase? I mean, that's what they've added to this.
We're going to discuss this in our caucus and we'll figure out what to do. It's just horrific that they have thrust us into this kind of chaos already and they haven't even taken over yet.
Welcome to the club, dude. We are going to clean house. And you, I hope that you resign before your term is up. I hope you do. Because you do not serve your constituents and the American people. You serve yourself. And so you can be mad all you want, Jamie, but you are not doing your job and upkeeping your oath that you have taken.
Some Republicans are saying they've done their part now, that what comes next is up to you. And if this doesn't get passed and the government shuts down, the Democrats are going to own this.
Yeah, they did their part by entering into a legislative compromise with us, which we negotiated over a several-month period. We arrived at the compromise, and that's what we've all been behind, and that's what we expect to go forward. So who is our leader, Hakeem Jeffries, supposed to negotiate with? Is it Mike Johnson? Is he the Speaker of the House? Or is it Donald Trump? Or is it Elon Musk? Or is it somebody else? So we got to try to figure out how to salvage some kind of public interest out of the wreckage that they've just put upon us.
Oh, I get it that it's difficult. You got to know who to negotiate with. It's a tough time because you have a current president that's a potato and can't make any decisions right now or anything. The VP hasn't done anything and she's been MIA until yesterday. The entire corruption that we have seen, the corrupt system over the last 4 years, has exposed themselves over the last week with this spending bill. And this is giving everybody, and all of you, everybody. I don't care if you voted for Donald Trump or not, and especially libertarians. Like, if you guys didn't want to vote for him because it's Republicans, I get it. I get it. But right now, this is setting a good precedent for January 20th that we're going to be able to start righting the ship and getting it on track. I'm hoping it's going to keep going this way. I have some, let's call it, I'm a little reserved because there's been a lot of times that we've elected people that I felt this hope and it never happened. So it's possible. However, for them to have this much impact and they're not even in office yet, we have 31 more days. 31, 32? Sorry, wait a minute. Hang on. 32 more days. We have 32 more days until they take office. And we are already making an impact on bills and in Congress, and they're freaking out about it. That is a good sign. A very good sign. I know it's not perfect for what everybody wants. I know some of you want to see everything gutted and all stripped out. I have some friends texting me, telling me about the 1933 Banking Relief Act and saying that needs to be repealed. And I'm in support of that. But we got to get there. You can't do that overnight. And right now, this is setting a good stage for us to be cleaning house. Just like you said, Kim, we are going to be doing it. I think it's going to happen. I am very pleased with what has gone on this week. Very pleased. Is it exactly where I want it to be? Is it the end game? No. But it is huge progress. Huge progress. And think about it. We've had this progress. And the people that were voted in haven't even taken office yet. What can we do when they get into office? Number one, we got to pardon all of the January 6ers. All of the real ones. I'm sorry, John Sullivan. John Sullivan, you're staying in prison. You're done. You do not get pardoned. You were there for ill intent and to cause chaos. You belong to sit in prison. Same with there's many others. I expose them every January 6th. I just don't remember their names. I put all the videos out go against the narrative that January 6th is a whole bunch of bad things, when most of the time the real people that were there with good intentions. We see some people joining. Danny, Rhonda, there you go. Welcome. You guys will want to go back and rewatch this. We're going to end it here in just a minute. Donna, baby steps. Agreed. Lenny, Ray Epps, 100%. Ray Epps is a huge part of it. Rose, correct. Free the January Sixers. Like, if you guys haven't seen the stuff Cash is putting on about Pam, I think that's hilarious. Pam is going to regret her decisions, and she should, because what she's doing right now is not fair. Not fair to any J6er she tries to ream. She has 32,000 followers, but she doesn't get anything on her posts. No one really pays attention, but she needs to learn her lesson. Just like what Congress has learned this week. Congress is learning. The American people, as soon as they find out and we get vocal about everything, we start exposing that we're funding $3 billion stadiums in our bill, then that has to go. We don't need to be funding NFL stadiums. We don't need to be funding these people's special interests. We're going to start changing it. Last thing that Mike Lee brought up that I want your guys' thoughts on, and throw it in the comments, because I want to see how many people throw this in, because we're going to end the video here right now. Who do you guys want to see as Speaker of the House? Mike Lee implied there's going to be a correction here, and that's what I was saying last night. When there were talks about J.D. Vance walking into Mike Johnson's office late last night, I guarantee you that conversation was, what the freak are you doing? What the freak are you doing? That is where I think last night Mike Johnson got the notice that you're done. I think we will see a replacement of Mike Johnson at this point. And yes, he needs to go, Lenny. 100%. Mike Johnson, I know even some of you in the comments, I recognize some of your names. When I was saying he is not MAGA Mike and he is not who you want, back when he became elected or appointed, however you want to call it, he's not technically elected by us, it was the representatives, but he was picked. He was not the guy for us, and I said that. Jim Jordan was much better. Like, Matt Gaetz would have been awesome. There would have been a few others that we could have picked when we chose this piece of garbage. And somehow he got in there, and people thought that it was going to be better. I'm glad it didn't. I'm glad everything came out. But we need to replace Mike Johnson, and it's with who? When it comes to Vivek or Musk, like Kim, you said Vance, Vivek, or Musk. Vance has got VP role, so we're not going to tag him with both. That's too much work. Vivek or Musk, I would be okay with Vivek. Musk, I want to see, like, the problem I have with Musk doing it is he's smart, but he doesn't really understand some of the law that comes around all of this stuff. Vivek does. He's read the bills. He's came up with bills and produced solutions to the government spending and the size of government. And he's put them out when he was running, for president. His plans and how he said he would go about it and who has the power to do this. I think Vivek would do well. And it allows him to establish himself as speaker, get familiar with some of this stuff, and see all the garbage that goes on. 2028, you have Vance and Vivek for the presidential ticket. I like that. I really like that a lot. Another comment was, you want Thomas Massey? I'm good with that. I could get with that. I love Thomas Massey. I think Thomas Massey would make a great speaker. He understands the system. He understands the corruption and the problems, but he also tries to make sure that we're moving forward and doing the right thing. But this next one, yeah, I'll be speaker. Waz, I'll vote for you. You got my vote. We're going to go with Waz for Speaker of the House. Can we do that? I know we can, because it doesn't have to be anybody in government. It could be literally anybody. How do we get Waz as Speaker of the House? Let's make it happen. I want to make it happen. I love Vivek. Good. I'm glad you do. I do too. A lot of the stuff that he talked about when he was running for president made so much sense. We have to do it. We have to shrink the size of government, and thankfully we have an opportunity to do it. And then hopefully we can start smashing it. I hopefully we can start getting rid of this stuff. Musk is too busy with his businesses. Vivek would be great. Yeah, Musk is running a lot of stuff, but Musk delegates a lot. So he delegates a lot, and he has a lot of people he surrounds himself with to get work done. And so I think there's a lot of opportunity for Elon still to be engaged. That's why I think Doge is going to work out. Is Elon knows how to delegate. He surrounds himself with people that will take care of work and get it done. Those are true leaders. You need to actually put it in place. That's my one criticism of Donald Trump is he puts in a little bit too much trust and faith in people, and sometimes it's the wrong people. But we all have our weaknesses, and we just got to recognize that as his, and sometimes he's going to make the wrong choice. Just like Mike Johnson being around all of this shit lately. Like, no one wants him. No one. Vivek is awesome. Loved meeting him. Yeah, I wish I had the chance. I'm jealous, Kim. Very jealous. Names are released. Wait a minute. Let's look that up. Let's end the show on that. Let's go find that. Let me go and pull this up. And I'm going to use my other screen. I am going to pull that up. Thank you, Tony. We're going to go look that up right now. I think he learned from that. I don't disagree with you. I think he has, but someone that has had that track record for so long, it takes a long time for it to change. So I wouldn't expect it to change so quickly, but we'll see. I voted for Donald Trump for a reason, as there's an opportunity for it. Looks like there's a new spending bill. Mike Johnson just announced there's a new spending bill on the way. So they might be coming up with another one real quick. I'm going to scroll through and see if I can find out who voted against it. Tony, if you don't mind, you can send... I found it. Laura Loomer. A person that I like, but I struggle with. I really don't understand what she's trying to push. But all right, 38 Republicans and that who voted against the Trump endorsed CR tonight. I don't care if it's Trump endorsed. Like, just to be clear, guys, like the 116-page bill, 10 million times better than the 1,500-page bill. I will take that. So I don't care if it's Trump endorsed or not. Is it the right bill for the American people? Aaron Bean, Andy Biggs, Kat. Guys, do you recognize that name? She is usually on Team Trump. She voted no. I'm curious why. Nancy Mace voted no? I expected Thomas Massey to vote no. Yeah, Thomas Massey's going to vote no on everything. Because he doesn't want half of this stuff. Corey Mills voted no. Okay. Blake Moore. I think Blake Moore is trying to save his butt, but I'm not surprised he voted no. Chip Roy, we already knew. Chip Roy was calling out this bill earlier, saying not to pass it. Let's see, what other names stand out? I think those are all the big names that stand out to me. Any of the other names that stand out to you guys? No, Tom's been around, Morgan Luttrell. But the big ones, I'm surprised by that one. Not surprised by John Curtis. John Curtis is, he tries to be a Republican, but he's not. He is evil. You will see that when he takes his new position on January 20th. I am definitely interested in why Nancy Mace, Kat Kamik voted no. We already know why Chip, and we already know why this guy is an idiot. So it's interesting. The names are out. I want to know the two that said yes that were Democrats. I'm sure that's going to be out there, and I'll go dig for it. But that is our list of Republicans, guys, that all voted no. This 116-page bill isn't perfect. but it's a million times better than 1,500 pages. And if Kat Kamek and some of these people on this list, if they voted because they wanted to see it being better than what it is, like I believe in Thomas Massey, I bet that's what he did, is he believes we could do more. And I'm okay with that. But that's why I want to understand why they voted no. And also, did their constituents, like if any representative said their constituents told me not to, you can't combat that. They just said that. Their constituents didn't want them to, and they're supposed to represent them. That is a valid answer. So you can't just go off of a list like this and say they're all bad people. You have to actually understand why they made that decision. But I do question Nancy Mace and Kat Kamek. I think I could be saying her name wrong, but anyways, guys, I'm out of here. We've been doing this for an hour. I meant to do 30 minutes. This is what it's going to be. My wife is going to give me shit about this, I'm sure. This is how Trump finds out who can be trusted. I don't blame you, but you can't say this was planned by Trump. I'm going to correct that every time because it wasn't. This is just the process worked out, and I'm not giving Trump credit that this is everything that worked out. It's the people and Elon Musk, Vivek, all calling out the bullshit in this other bill. It's exactly what should be done. Every bill. And so the blocks are getting in place. I'm just being careful on how I'm applying the credit and where the recognition needs to go. But tune in, guys. There's other stuff going on tonight. Free and Mike are doing Township Liberation tonight, which is on X, going over how you can actually establish your communities and support people locally in keeping things out of the big system and all of the big companies' hands, and you just support the people that you would like. We need to be doing more of that. And he has a show tonight. I think it's in 45 minutes. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to actually look it up and make sure so I can give it a proper announcement for tonight. Bear with me a second, guys. And I see you guys in the comments. You guys are all leaving. Thank you for joining in. This was fun. Oh, Freeze Live right now. So go over to Freedom for Us for All. They're going over Township Liberation with Mike, talking about rules for new radicals and rebellion. So go tune into Free over on X, and we will see you guys more soon. I will probably be doing more lives covering these bills, and you'll see some new stuff coming up. Have a great night. Go Broncos, everybody, the football fans. We need this win tonight so we can guarantee our playoff spot. We'll talk to you guys later.